The Baltimore Ravens once again came just a little bit shy of getting back to that big game, the rematch versus last year's Kansas City Chiefs. They were so close, right? But at the end of the day, this team got better. They are definitely way more dynamic offensively, and they have an opportunity to get even better this offseason. Now, we just got some massive news regarding a potential free agent signing that could happen within the next couple of weeks. And in this video, I wanted to kind of break down my dream scenario for what they could potentially do this offseason. Before we dive into the video, comment down below one free agent you think the Baltimore Ravens need to try to sign this offseason. And with that being said, let's dive into some major news that pretty much just broke a little while ago. Now, before we dive into that news, I do want to point out that the Ravens actually were really good this season, ranking within the top 3 of offensive points per game and the top 8 of defensive points allowed per game. Now, usually, Super Bowl champions will be in the top 5 of both. For example, the Eagles were number 5 offense and the number 1 defense in the NFL this season. But when I take a look at where the Ravens needed to improve the most, there is only one glaring spot, and that is obviously the pass defense, right? Now, I'm not saying it's bad, and you can take a look at this number, for example, 31st in the NFL in opposing offensive pass play calls, right? Now, that is very, right, it doesn't tell the entire story because obviously, the Ravens were up the majority of games this season, forcing the opposing team to throw the football. So don't take a look at this number and say, oh, the pass defense needs to be better. But one number that does need to improve is right here, right? Interception percentage. This is a crucial number, and you want this to be within the top 10. Now, this news that broke actually helps out this specifically. The Ravens already ranked within the top 6 of getting sacks, and that is huge, right? That is absolutely massive. But let's take a look at some news that just broke. Now, there are already multiple NFL sources that are talking about Jaire Alexander and his future with the Green Bay Packers. Now, one thing that could potentially happen here in the next few weeks is they actually cut the 2-time Pro Bowler Jaire Alexander, and one of the best landing spots for him would clearly be the Baltimore Ravens. Now, Jaire Alexander has dealt with a ton of injuries thus far over the past 2 seasons, only playing in 14 games in 2023 and 2024. However, when he has been healthy, the production has been off of the charts. Back in 2022, played in 16 games, had 5 interceptions for the Green Bay Packers. Even this year, playing in 7 games, had 2 interceptions, on pace for about 5, maybe even 6 interceptions this year as well. And when you take a look at a play like this versus the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles, right, we see a really good job understanding what the offense is trying to do, but more importantly, reading the quarterback's eyes, right? As we shove off John Dotson, we're going to take a look at the rolling out Jalen Hurts, right? And instead, a lot of guys in this specific situation would kind of, right, go get the quarterback. But him being smart, he knows that he's got guys that are going to do that. So what he does instead is takes a look back and sees, all right, they have a wide open touchdown. Let me just get in this general area and then watch them turn back, look for the football, right? That is the best thing you can do. Look back for the football, jumps it, gets the interception, and takes it the other direction. Now, listen, I would say he probably should have taken a knee here and not taken this out of the end zone, but he did. We need to be a little bit better on that, and I'm telling you, the Ravens will tell him, hey, just take the knee. We need those yards, right? But again, Jaire Alexander, only 28 years old, was a former first-round pick back in 2018. This dude can really play football. I think it would speak volumes, not only the leadership that he has, but his ability to change a culture in that secondary, force interceptions. I think it could be huge. Now, currently, as it stands, the Baltimore Ravens are, expected to lose a couple of players, potentially Ronnie Stanley, Patrick McCarry, Tre'Davious White, right? You got some other guys here as well that could be a little bit important, right? Ben Cleveland maybe just got arrested. Brandon Stevens, right? Trayvon Mullen, Darius Washington. They got some pretty good names here available in free agency. And to be honest, they might need a DB. There's also been a little bit of rumors swirling around that potentially the Ravens go out and trade Marlon Humphrey. I don't know how true these rumors are, but if it does happen, I feel like if Jair Alexander does get cut, he would then be a big priority for this defense. And when you take a look at some of the names currently on the market, you see guys like Carlton Davis, Travarius Ward, DJ Reed, Byron Murphy, Jeff Okudah, Stephon Gilmore. There are some names that are very interesting to me, but I feel like if Jair Alexander entered this list, he would clearly be the best DB on the market. And here's another really good play here by Jair Alexander. We're just going to get a quick stop route here by DeAndre Hopkins when he was on the Tennessee Titans. We're going to see him have that read, react, and attack mindset here. I love Jair Alexander and his ability to jump passes just like this one again. Read, react, and boom, attack, pursue, great hands, and there he goes off to the races down that left sideline for an easy touchdown. Now, if you're telling me Jair Alexander wouldn't be a good fit with this Ravens team, I want you to comment down below, who should the Ravens go out and pursue? Obviously, this is not a nail in the coffin. This is not set in stone, but just rumors, right? If Jair Alexander does get released from the team, the Baltimore Ravens are expected to be one of the top pursuers, maybe alongside the LA Chargers could be involved as well. But let me know in the comments real quickly. Also, subscribe, hit the like button. Who do you think should be a priority target for this Baltimore Ravens team? Now, if I'm the Ravens, I'm actually really confident in how this team looks going into next year. Yes, you could lose a ton of players that are starters last year, right? Nelson Aguilar, Ronnie Stanley, Patrick McCarry, Pat Ricard, right? There's a lot of guys that, Malik Harrison, Darius Washington, Brandon Stevens, but the future is still very bright. I know they're extremely high on a guy like Nate Wiggins, who had a great year. I think he is only getting better. You have a guy like TJ Tampa, right? Do you retain a guy like Brandon Stevens potentially? Yes, no, I don't really know. But at the end of the day, I think DB, whether it be safety or cornerback, is going to be a major necessity for this Ravens team. But the future is extremely bright. Still have Lamar, you'll still have Derrick Henry. Maybe you release Mark Andrews, get a little bit more cap space, and attack this year's free agency to make sure they come back next year and as dominant as ever. So let me know in the comments down below, what approach do you think this Ravens team should take this offseason? Where should they target? What position groups? And hit the like button, subscribe, join the family, turn on post notifications, and I'll see you guys in the next news update. Peace.